Hey, Merry Christmas! So today we're going to do a review of Bahubali, the second movie. And for my companion, my husband...
Jai Maheshmati.
Oh, he's got a lot of parts that he's very enthusiastic about. So we're going to do a reaction / review of it. And do you want to get started?
Yeah. So Bahubali 2 is again iconic movie, and we have a few of our absolute favorite scenes that we just want to review and talk about. Of course, we could not fit this in just one video, I guess.
Oh, we had too many favorite scenes.
Yeah.
In fact, when we were trying to cut the scenes, all that happened was the whole movie was being shown, and I was like, that's too much. We have to show our top favorites.
It was very hard, to cut down the scenes.
And I would say that, when I watched it again for like the 5th or 6th time, I cry each and every time I watch it.
I'm looking forward to your tears on the camera. We'll see if they come or not.
See, I don't know if I'll cry because you just show me segments of the film, but I definitely cry in the whole like chronological movie.
She does.
Every time. So do you want to get started?
Okay, so the first one is the entry of Devasena. This was a favorite for both of us, and we'll talk about that.
Oh, she even twists that to really cause damage.
And look at those eyes.
Oh, her eyes are beautiful.
Oh, look at the music.
How did all that stuff turn into so many shreds? I thought it was like 3 cuts.
Oh, she's Devasena. She's gonna be Bahubali's like wife. Oh, her hair is flying.
Well, there's always wind through his hair. Whoa.
And she is good.
She's very good.
Love at first sight.
She's like using her hair as a weapon almost.
Yeah.
He's like not even looking at his attackers. He can fight them off, but he's thinking about Devasena. Oh, look at that wind on his hair. In every scene, his hair is like blowing in the wind. He's like smiling. Why is her Tika in that design? Does everyone have a different design?
Or you can have any designs you want.
Do you use the same ones? Is it symbolic?
There can be some symbolic ones as well. So this almost looks like a crescent moon, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at Kapata.
Katappa.
Katapa. Oh my god. How is it that the tree is exactly in the shape of the villains?
I mean, he's Bahubali. So, thoughts?
I absolutely love the introduction of Devasena. That you don't really see her until you see her. So they first show her in the carriage. I mean, they're always building, kind of getting in like that. Then you see the back of her head. Then you see her eyes. Then you see her lips. Then you see the complete body. And like she's doing acrobatic moves. I mean, they introduced Devasena as the strong and beautiful Indian woman.
I totally agree. The way initially they show, she's sitting in her carriage and looks very innocent. Who would imagine that she would be fighting, And then, of course, when they introduce, oh, she's like a fighter, She's a complete fighter, like a Kshatriya woman.
There's more than meets the eye for her.
True, And, the following scene where, Bahubali saves Katappa, from all those, attackers by chopping off the tree. Ah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's amazing. One more thing about Devasena, I like how they make her not the traditional woman, just like meek, beautiful, studies.
Right.
She's actually a fighter.
She's a total fighter.
Yeah, they do not make her typical heroine. She's a fighter, and she's in a leadership position, and she still fights for her people. So it's like Bahubali. He's not just a leader who stays behind. He's actually a leader who defends his people. All right, so for the second scene, I'm gonna have my husband introduce it.
So for this next scene, this is the ultimate fighting where Bahubali almost single-handedly saves the kingdom of Kuntal, and of course the three-bow scene with Devasena, which is an epic scene.
All right, let's get started.
And she's good.
Very
She's so good. Like,
how does that bow go inside the steel armor?
it's made of steel as well, looks like. Pointed steel. Oh my god.
Why is he jumping? Why can't he just run forward?
He's getting height so he can like attack from top.
But why does he need to?
He's a stylish man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, man.
Why is he running forward?
To save Devasena. Oh,
Oh, I love this part.
fallen in love. Oh,
And it like touches her earrings.
yeah. Not a single arrow goes to waste.
Not doing. Not doing. Manibandham Bahil.
And she's a quick learner.
Very much. See the steel, like,
Yeah. Wait, it goes through their shield and their armor? Oh my god, that goes through his head.
see? He has to do that.
Oh.
I love the music.
Oh my gosh. One bow, 6 arrows.
Should we talk? Do you want to talk about that?
So I think this is the scene where they understand their true, like in the beginning, Bahubali hid who he truly was, so she doesn't know him. They didn't talk, it's just their actions show each other who they really are, and she falls in love through his actions.
I totally agree. I mean, this was an epic scene where so much non-verbal communication happened, and you know, the way he describes, you know, the scene before actually, they showed Devasena, you know, she was trying to hit, you know, same target with 2 arrows, and she couldn't do that. And hey, here's a man, you know, who's apparently mentally retarded, and he's trying to shoot 3 arrows with a bow, and he's at excellence on that, you know. So it was, he, you know, Devasena was completely taken, you know, won over basically by Bahubali in the scene, and just the presentation was amazing. And my favorite part was when, you know, the music comes through. Bahubali has hit, you know, soldier with his own bow, and he does not have a bow anymore, and they put 6 arrows, you know, and 6 arrows in one bow. It was amazing. I love the part where he says and teaches her, Rajkumari, Nadwe, Manibandham Bahir Mukham. It's amazing. I'm not showing off, by the way.
So I would say that is an amazing scene. My favorite scene in that scene is actually where he turns around after shooting all of those soldiers, and it slows down. He looks at her, she has her earrings on, and he shoots slow motion, and the arrows hit the earrings and then kill the people. So it was like he planned the arrows to, because you know when an arrow hits something it kind of deviates off course. He factored that in, kind of tickled her earrings when he couldn't really touch her at that moment, and then shot the person who was trying to harm her.
That's a really, really nice way to put it. Like, you know, in a way he was maybe flirting with Devasena.
He was totally flirting.
I know, I tickled your earrings, you know,
Yes,
here you
yes,
go.
yes.
And even in the wild boar scene, the way he shot the arrows, he, in his brain and his mind, you know, he figured out the deviation of angle to hit Devasena's, you know, arrow and then hit the boar. So I think he's the same over here as well.
He thinks one step ahead. For the third favorite scene, I'm gonna have my husband introduce it.
So actually, the continuation, it was so hard for us to remove the scenes and select the scenes actually. So it's just the following scene where, the Katappa carries the charge, and he leads an army of the bulls. Are these the bulls, right?
Yeah, longhorn bulls, I think.
Bulls, buffaloes, or whatever, And where Bahubali breaks the dam and makes Jal Samadhi of all the Pindaris. And wins the war.
All right, let's begin. See, I don't know how they get these fire on the horns and still stay firing.
Seriously, what was the logic of the fire, by the way? I mean, what did the fire do?
I don't know.
It might look good though.
It looks very attractive.
The head of Pindaris.
He stops. He just thought of something. Oh my gosh. Would you do that for me?
I mean, it's almost like you can see the future. Like, I want to be able to do that too.
Would you do that for me?
Of course. I mean, I think you are that pretty.
I think you're that handsome too.
Well, I know.
Where does he get his equipment? Oh my gosh. He is so fast that you couldn't even see him.
I know. Well, Devasena was ready with the 3 arrows.
They're being definitely overwhelmed by the... Oh my gosh. I feel like Bahubali is good with every weapon. He doesn't have one weapon that he's good at. It's like Baladev, he's got that one weapon that he's really good at. Whoa, now he flies.
Wow. I mean, the music,
See, I thought at this scene he would have died because they would have trampled him. I mean, even that villain, he's like, yes. I feel like whenever there's slow motion, the good guy always wins in slow motion.
He's Bahubali, man.
Oh, he's like, oh. Ruchesa. He's running. Oh, he ran up that thing.
I mean,
oh!
That must have hurt.
I feel like at that point, would you rip off your hand and try to escape?
I mean,
because the thing is, all he would have to do is take it off and try to escape. He knows he's...
And with his bones, his tendons, everything is
Well, yeah, but at least you survive.
How do you survive this though?
Well, that's why I was why couldn't he remove...
I mean, even if he removed, it's the water's everywhere. It's oh man, look at the Pindaris.
Like I said, they slow it down. Every time they slow it down, the good guy's winning.
They're oh, what just happened? Who are these people, man? I love this scene where they all are being flushed out.
Oh, this is like ants. So that was the fight scene, and it is epic. I always have good feelings because a fight is so one-sided by one man.
I love the scene, single-handedly, they were so greatly outnumbered by the Pindaris, and here, out of the blue, luckily he was in town, he was visiting Kuntal, and saves them all the way. It's amazing, and it's to me, it's karma, your karma, for the Pindaris, they made Jal Samadhis of everybody. Here you go, sir, your Jal Samadhi has been made. Jal Samadhi is basically killed basically by water drowning.
Gotcha. So it's irony then.
Yeah, it's it was amazing scene, very well shot, and it was one of the epic scenes that we both loved.
Do you think the leader of the Pandaris, he could have survived if he just removed the sword out of his hands?
No, I mean he would have been again buried by the water anyway. He was right in the line of fire for the water, when the dam was broken.
But how did Bahubali get out of the water?
Because he was standing on the
What's that?
The embankment. He was standing on the embankment.
But he was when he put the thing on the Pandari's hand, where was he standing?
When he put the thing on the Pandari's hand, then he ran over the kind of the log of woods, which were supporting the.
So
the
why
dam.
couldn't the Pandari do that?
The Pandari was stuck with his hand.
Well, that's why I said if he removed it, could he have survived? I mean,
Well-
if this was Bahubali, I think what would happen is, actually there was one scene where his hand was down. He removed it,
Right.
and he
That is
saved
true.
himself. So that's
That
why
is
I was
true.
like, because he's not Bahubali.
I mean, true. I mean, you have to be on the side of Dharma. Like Bahubali was right over here. If you're on the side of Dharma, God saves you. You know. So